The story of my life remains written on these pages. My fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, and every person I met made me what I am. Could I have really taken a different path? Found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
Alright. The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. In times, the falls of the blessed Arcanine Empire. Oh, that looks alright. So let's get in and see what this looks like, because I don't know too much about this one. I just saw the art style and clicked on it. Since it reminded me so much of the 2-star games in their paper style, this kind of ink drawn look just looked phenomenal to me. What's this? Yeah, we don't want to change our decisions. Let's stay with that. Consequences open. You will see the consequences of your possible choices in advance. This is the recommended game mode, as you will be able to direct characters' fate in the way you want. No, man, we want it to be... We don't want to go back, and we don't want to know what our consequences are going to be. Before you lies the story of a single man who will take on the role of Sir Brante and determine his goals and fate in life. From his birth to his true death, our hero is unfortunate enough to be born in a cruel, ruthless world, one that is different from ours in many ways that may not be immediately apparent. This means that you must be ready to learn the ways of this world one step at a time. Your every decision will affect our hero's personality and family, his friends and foes, and even the outcome of important events. The decisions you make will ultimately influence the state of affairs throughout the nation. When given a choice, choose whatever feels right in the world and for yourself. How you live this life entrusted into your care? Sir Brante. Will Sir Brante turn the tide of history, or will he ground into dust by the millstone of fate? That is for you to decide. Okay. At the end of time, your fingers are stained with ink, your breath grows ragged. Your hands are shaking, yet the words begin to appear on the page before you one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your life. Who are you? And how did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arcanine Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human, Arcanine, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods. And each life is not but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, bending together days that are thrice dead and gone. Dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life, and a war drenched in blood. High ranks and lowly deeds, opulent places, secretive city backstreets, fields of battle and faces, so many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step, you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here to the end of your time. And every choice had a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in your memory. The pain and joy, inextricably intermingled. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world? You had the power to alter the very course of history. Now, on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most crucial question of all. Your life. Of all the paths in life, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate, or was your life shaped by the forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? Alright, so this is our first choice here then. The man himself chooses his destiny, the world around him, a higher power chooses it for you, or there's no such thing as destiny. Let's go with the world around him. Your path was charted for you by the people, the age, and the society in which you lived. Final hours in this world are upon you. You close your eyes. In your mind's eye, you see them once more, the faces of your family, your friends, your foes, your underlings, your rulers. One after another, you recall the events that changed you forever. And in that moment, you know the truth. You are part of this world. You are its flesh and blood, your family, your hometown, your empire. They all made you what you are. Your destiny was the sum total of your upbringing, your social status, other people's choices, and the age in which you lived. But are you right about this? Is that all true? You learn the truth. To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Brante will live once more. Alright, childhood, adolescence, youth, peacetime, and the revolt. I gotta say, this is only the first 2 chapters in this game, so it's basically a demo or a prologue. So if it's this, I think we're only be able to go through our childhood and adolescence. Before we get to youth in this, we'll have to wait for the full game. So I thought this would be a good chance to jump in and see what kind of game this turns out to be. So let's start off with our childhood. Childhood, where life begins. First words and unsteady steps. But you are but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you, so many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet, you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? Important life events may happen to you in this chapter. I'm spineless, and I'm inattentive. I've got some willpower. Haven't died yet. My destiny screen is now available. Personality screen, House of Brante screen, and the family screen. Alright, let's check out Destiny, Chapter 1. Personality, 0 years old, low-born. After suffering a lesser death, one is reborn. One who dies a true death faces the judgment of the twin gods. Okay. House of Brante. A chain on a branch. Very interesting. And that's oak, right? That's an oak tree branch. Represents how close and trusted your family is. So we're at peace with our family. Moderate means, so we're middle class. Tarnished honor represents the honor of your family and your position in high society. It affects how the nobility treats you. So we're not great in the eyes of the world. Heir, Stephen Brante, who's indifferent to me as my brother. The heir of the Brante family and a noble by birth. The only child in the family to be raised in accordance with noble traditions. He's your grandfather's favorite and his hope for the future of the family. From a young age, he has been arrogant, aggressive, and competitive, striving to be the first in all things and demonstrate his superiority to the family. Gregor Brante. So we don't know anything about him. Robert, our father. Amelia, who's his ex-wife. Stephen Brante, that's the heir apparent. The new mother-in-law Lydia, and Gloria, our stepsister. The heir of the Brante family by noble birth. I guess we already read all that. Amelia died while giving birth to him. Oh no, so Gloria is my sister. Stefan's my half-brother. And Gloria would be my half-sister. What's this line here, though? So she died during childbirth. Where did you meet Lydia? A humble commoner from the outskirts of Anzote. So she's fairly middle ground as well. Legitimate daughter of her mother Lydia. She has never met her real father. And of course Robert has never acknowledged her. She now manages the household and raises Robert's children. So she ends up being more... Okay. So no information on why we have such a low standing. 11:18. So let's get back to the scene and begin our journey. At first, there was nothing, no time, no sensation, nothing but darkness and the void. But when a will breathes life into nothingness, matter and spirit are set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory, you're lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You're not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. Okay, so assuming that means these are my parents. One arm outstretched and open, another clenched in a fist. So then who's this dark shadow in the back? It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hands toward you. There are two of them, the ones who made you from their own sleeves and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel the differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and empathetic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth is never ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance and force of protection, merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet there's also a third figure. It is like a shadow barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing even stronger within you. A soft open palm, a strong closed fist, a lingering distant shadow. You struggle to choose to loosen the swaddling clothing wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand to the world. Okay. I have no idea. To the outstretched palm, the closed fist, or should we smile at the shadow? So is that independence and the future? Comfort? Or strength? I don't know. There's a lot of ways to interpret that scene. But let's reach out to the palm this time around. Your little palm awkwardly grasps the small... Your little palm awkwardly clasps the soft finger. You explore your mother's hand by touch. She smiles gently as her arm wraps around you and lifts you up. She smells of home, that indescribable smell, that feeling of safety that is second to none. Her embrace is the warmest place in the world, a place you want to stay for all eternity. Alright, so we got more perception. Still can't pay attention to a damn thing because I'm a baby. birth. Your life in this world begins. How will you live it? As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize your father by his heavy breath and strong, cold hands. He visits you rarely. Robert Brant. Hello there, little Horsten Brant. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. Lydia Brant. My, you're growing quickly, my child. There are two more children in the family named Stefan, and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you in the air. Lydia. Oh look, this is your brother and your sister. Stefan Brandt. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge because you're born a commoner. Gloria. Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Horsten. Let's go play in the yard. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with the other. Another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. When you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers, it tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a giant pillar. A perfectly straight stick made of light. It's so bright it hurts to look at. Why are you staring at that shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. He's just a baby. How is he gonna play? Then you hide him. I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they're talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stefan and Gloria glanced at each other. Then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes, and starts to shout something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by the tall wall. The light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches you here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason. Then, she's gone. You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting there for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? So do I cry loudly? Do I wander off? Or do I sit there and wait? Well, I don't think I would sit there and have bugs crawling all over me. Let's just wander off, because I think that's something I would have done back then. You get up on your feet, swaying a little bit. Carefully, you take a first step, then lose your balance and plop down on the ground again. But you're determined. You get up and keep walking the direction Gloria went. You walk out of the bushes and further towards the wall of the house, and then the most tender and gentle hands in the world embrace you and pick you up. Mother has found you. There you are. You lean on your mother's chest and hold on to her with your arms. You want her to know that you came here all by yourself without any help. She pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stefan is staring at his feet. You hug your mother tightly. She's here now. So we got some determination out of that. Still spineless, but we're getting there. Two years old. The Great Descent. Another memory. You're still a little child, but can you already talk and run around on your own? Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house, giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work. There are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hands and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today is the Great Descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descend to us. You must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do as your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys there, no chairs. Even the carpet has been taken away. There is nothing there but the bare wooden floor. Gloria. Today we're not allowed to go to any of the rooms, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the Great Descent, everyone must know where they belong. It is quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You're sitting on the cold floor, confused, no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, a lonely sound in an empty room. It is a little song that mother's taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins come down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them, 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fought. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand, guide us by the twins' command. Common people work and toil, always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you're born, to the day when you pass on. Know your lot, know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You're transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze and a smile creeps across her face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Horston? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar anytime from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar, and if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are lowborn. Mom is a commoner too. So the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard, understand? The priests and the nobles have other lots. Nobles fight and rule over everybody. And the priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do. But I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it? Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From the slate emerges 2 figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder, the other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happen before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verse once more. Know your lot and know the prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. What will these words be? Sing the last line wrong, or should we sing it properly? We'll finish it properly. You know your lot, you know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You sing the last line together with Gloria. Your sister looks up at you in surprise and gives you a nod. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from the top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Gloria turns her head to look at you, to look at where you were staring. Did you see something? You shake your head. Not anymore. Now we're curious. Age 3. You're starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service, but your mother's is a lowborn, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner. But father says you may yet become unto nobility. You learn to read at an early age, together with mother. You read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strips of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stars are no longer insurmountable. When the stairs are no longer insurmountable obstacles. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. But even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother Stefan now spends less and less time playing with you and Gloria. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be. So Gloria calls him names, and Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are too many siblings getting in his way already. Soon you'll be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be, boy or girl. You'll love them the most. Your father comes back from his trips. He reads his adult books aloud for you. You find those stories of wars and generals and rebellions enchanting. Your father approves of your fascination. Robert Brante. Study hard, and maybe one day you too will become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword. But first, you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is terrifying as it is alluring. You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You're both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stefan is studying next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder, you picked it up and hit him with it. You see Mother's shoe walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stefan, Thorsten? You stammer out the explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare you pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm gonna hit you with a real sword. Mother stresses you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you. Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Your lot is to suffer. But your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot. And the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. Now Stefan looks at you in triumph. You look at Mother in fear, not sure of what to do now. Accept your punishment. You accept your guilt and tell your mother you're ready for punishment. Deny your guilt. Continue to insist you're not guilty. Demand an explanation. I demand an explanation for this outrage. You start asking questions. Why were you born a commoner if your father's a noble? If you have your father's name, why can't you have his lot? And why can't you choose a lot for yourself if you don't like the one you have? Your mother's stunned by all the questions you are peppering her with. Don't you dare ask me about that, Thorsten. I'll violate my lot if I start explaining it to you. I'm a commoner, not a priest. You're flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. Tears keep rolling down your cheeks. Feels like the punishment will never end. It hurts to walk when you are finally let go. You slowly climb the stairs and walk to your room. You see a book on your bed. The two teachings. The Visatius, Volume 2. Your tears have dried now. You begin to read, slowly making your way through the difficult words. Every death of the body bringeth the soul ever closer to the twins' judgment. And when the body dieth a true death, the soul soareth into the shining pillar. The twin gods do judge every soul, and their judgment is stern and unforgiving. He who followeth his lot in life from birth shall meet and bless atop the peak of the shining pillar. The words confuse and elude you, instilling fear and awe. You will read this mysterious book again and again as you grow up. We become even more curious. On to the fourth year, I suppose. Gloria's rhymes. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day she takes your hands and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You'll have a brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together, under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey Thorsten, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Our judge is my second father. In the past, I had another. Mother says the twins are great, says we should not fight our fate. But Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. I wrote it a little. See, I wrote that. A little rhyme. Please don't tell anyone it's mine. But today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that still live there. But she has vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chamber when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding the quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry. Her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What's this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mother. No, you cannot. It's already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny. And I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learn how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble. But that is not our fate, and you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander to the scene, unsure of how to act. I wouldn't complain about her anyway, so I don't need a determination there. Offer to write rhymes with her. Comfort your sister. Leave the room. Mother leaves, and the last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You hug your sister and whisper to her. Let's go to the library, you say. The two of you can hide under the table and write things together. Gloria shakes her head violently. Mother said no, and there's no way she would ever defy her. You reassure her that it would be your secret. You pull Gloria to the library. She fights you but refuses to relent. But you refuse to relent. You carefully peek inside. Your sister takes a small book from one of the shelves and you read it together under the table. It's a book of poetry about eternal love. Gloria clearly adores it. You decide to write a poem of your own. She recites a line in an ecstatic voice, and you repeat it after her and offer a rhyme of your own. She nods happily. You do this until the day ends. You have written a poem of your own and learned it by heart. Not a single line of it has been committed to paper, which means you stayed true to your mother's world. There's always a loophole. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants, and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge, after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stefan and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stefan, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Now come, don't knit your brow like that, you'll understand when you're older. How is that even possible? We're all family, aren't you? Several days later, Mother calls Stefan and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You're told to sit still and be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins. First to the elder on the right, then to the younger on the left. Stefan, you're a nobleman to be, so walk along the side paved with marble. There, where the benches are. Gloria, you walk on the sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stefan, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with a lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You are told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stefan is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like everything is the same, and yet nothing is the same anymore. Each of them has accepted their lot. Alright, so Stefan is indifferent to me now. Disagreements. Your siblings, Stefan and Gloria, took their first sacraments at the temple. You eye the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stefan and Gloria are also here, all excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. They'll never hit him, oh no. The two of you will play together and tease Stefan together, and help Mother together, and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents name your little brother Nathan, and Mother spends day and night by his side. And Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She is so worn out she starts forgetting things, like today for instance, she forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You'd better bring it to her as soon as possible. You run to Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting. But instead of gratitude, you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Thurston. You're bothering me. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. His cries get even louder. She looks so tired from his never-ending screaming. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You're scared of your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. Call for father. Redirect her anger at yourself. Snatch Nathan from her. You don't have strong relations with Mother to just hug her. Yeah, we gotta get that. Redirect the anger or snatch Nathan. I think calling for help would take too long. Tough choice. Snatched a baby. You leap at your mother and demand she give you Nathan. She freezes when she hears the words. You snatch your little brother out of her arms. She chokes with rage and falls on the bed screaming. You run away to the playroom. Your baby brother is heavy in your arms. He sniffles. You sway him gently like mother did, quietly singing him a lullaby about the twins. Nathan calms down. Soon he closes his eyes. You put the newborn on your bed and swear on your life that no one will ever hurt him when you're around. You hear heavy footsteps in the hallway. Father enters the playroom. He looks at you, then at Nathan, somewhat confused. You did something bigger than you today, son. It is a noble deed to protect your family, but you should have come to me. Please understand, this was my duty, not yours. You saved your baby brother from harm. If you feel yourself ready to take the responsibility to protect others, then maybe you can walk the path of a noble when you're older. But for now, we should bring him back to your mother. Come with me. He picks up Nathan. Your brother is fast asleep, breathing quietly. The three of you return to mother's bedroom. Father puts Nathan back in the crib. Mother is no longer screaming. She embraces you. Please forgive me. The twins know I was out of my mind. Please don't be angry with me. You hug your mother in response. Okay, so we got sympathy and gratitude. Younger brother remembers what you have done for him. Oh, that's with Nathan. How's the newborn gonna remember that? But okay. And we're ready for action. But our willpower went down, eh? Expended after difficult choices. Yeah, that makes sense. Your younger brother Nathan is born. "5 years old. And I think we're gonna leave it right there for now. And we'll continue the rest of childhood in the next episode. Till then, we'll see you guys next time.